Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, guest Dakota. It's great to have you. A couple of years ago, if you had asked me how I was feeling or how I was doing, I would have said, great, or not so well. And I wouldn't have been being superficial with you because honestly, that was the extent of my emotional awareness. I had one of two experiences. I was either doing well and fine and good, or bad, poorly. And that was really the extent of me being able to decipher my emotions. This was a problem for me once I became aware of it, because I realized there's a whole spectrum of emotions that fall in between good and bad, or even envelop both of those ideas. So I began to write down periodically the emotions that I was experiencing. Instead of just feeling bad, it's go looking through the wheel and saying, well, I think I'm feeling maybe pain? Is that what I'm feeling? And then I'd break that one down and say, maybe loneliness. Yeah, I think that's the one I'm feeling, loneliness. Or the same thing with many of the other emotions that I could feel. Once I started honing in on all of the individual facets, I was able to start taking a better inventory to say, I'm actually feeling a little bit of sadness and then also a little bit of joy, or a little bit of excitement and also a little bit of fear. As I continued this process, a pattern became clear to me. Anytime I was experiencing what I'll call uncomfortable emotions, especially for someone who's emotionally immature, guilt, shame, pain, anger, fear, I would write these things down, and there was something lacking, and it was gratitude. I couldn't simultaneously hold the emotion of gratitude with these other uncomfortable emotions. So then I started doing everyone's advice, where you write a gratitude list, and I would indignantly write in my hat, happy for my house, I'm happy for my job. But it felt so, it was awful, because these were these things that intellectually I felt like I should be feeling gratitude for. That didn't work so well for me. I can be a stubborn, hard-headed person. But just like we do here at Toastmasters, I decided, well, practice makes perfect, right? So let me give myself some exercises in order to practice feeling gratitude. Now, I love hot showers. Who in here likes hot showers? Like let's get that as hot as we possibly can. Let's go make sure the water heater's turned up first too, So I take these scalding hot showers like I did every day. But I decided to add something to this. Towards the end of the shower, I would step to the side of the water and then turn that dial over to the cold water. And I'd stand there for a moment, gain my composure, and then step back into the water. And try in that moment to feel gratitude, to literally generate warmth. While cold water is going on my face, can I be grateful that I have a face to feel cold water? Can I be grateful that I have a back to be freezing, a butt to literally be freezing in the shower? It was a great and wonderful practice, because instead of sitting there freezing and could I change my experience around and deep breathe and have a smile on my face? It was a really wonderful exercise for me, because it bled over into other areas of my life. The most poignant of which was when one night I was laying in bed after having my adult braces removed, and I was supposed to wear my retainer every night, but I hadn't done that. It wasn't a habit of mine. So here I was laying in bed, my wonderful coverage, my comfortable bed surrounding me, enveloping me. I'm just about to drift off into dreamland, and then I remember I'm supposed to wear my retainer. It's all the way in the bathroom. What the freak? I have to get out of bed and put this retainer container on. And then it dawned on me. The reason that I'm so angry and frustrated in this moment is because my bed is so comfortable that I have to get out of it. And, of course, again, as a hard-headed person, this wouldn't have been the first or last time for this to happen. It was a repeated thing every day for a couple of weeks. I had to have this experience. And so for me, it was great because the universe knew how to drive a point home every day. I had the same experience. I'd lay in bed, I'd get so comfortable, and then I'd remember this stupid retainer that I have to get up out of bed to go and get. And it was wonderful because then every time I would immediately try to turn it around and say, I'm so thankful right now to be able to have this experience that is not only creating the anger, but it's just, of course, that silver lining of the cloud. It's not just a list of, I'm grateful for my house, I'm grateful for my job. It's the reason I'm experiencing this uncomfortable emotion is because of the same reason of the discomfort is the reason because I'm so comfortable. So it was a great thing for me to realize, especially as it grew every day. My anger grew not only at the situation but at myself for not getting my stuff together. But then that's actually where my emotional and spiritual development really began, because what I started to realize was that my spiritual growth was in being able to hold opposing ideas and opposing truths, two truths that are equally as valuable and true. So I was very angry at myself for not figuring out a different way to not have this experience, right? I mean, that's valid. Every single day I keep making the same mistake. But at the same time, I could also change it around and say, you know what though? You didn't forget. You didn't just go to bed and not remember your retainer. You actually remembered your retainer, and yeah, you had to get out of bed and do it. And eventually you can problem solve and figure out how to navigate the situation. But I began to see in other areas of my life where that was truly the key, not just to gratitude, but becoming a much more spiritually mature person, which is being able to say, yes, this is true, but then also this completely opposite opposing idea is also true. And can I have a space within me that's large enough for both of that ideas? So not only am I frustrated at myself for making this mistake, but I also love myself that I'm recognizing this mistake and I'm working on myself. And then being able to take that into my life and into my relationships with other people and hear their truth and hold my truth and hold their truth. Gallus said something earlier. He said, nothing holds us together here at Toastmasters other than our desire to come and practice and speak. And I would actually disagree with that. I would say that almost all of us in here have a very similar goal. My goal is to live on a planet where all beings are happy, peaceful, and liberated from their suffering. And I believe that each of us in here are bringing their message forward because we're working all towards that goal and sharing our own experience with others so that they may benefit. I share my experience with you guys today so that perhaps on your own journey for emotional maturity and spiritual growth, that you can reflect and possibly implement some of these techniques in your own life and in your